Recording is on. Day, sorry, day 43. And here, readme.md, we have this. And if you talk about today's topic is interesting one. So we have seen arrow functions, we have seen arrays, right? Multi-dimensional arrays, correct? Hello? We have seen arrays or not?
Yes, sir.
We have seen 1D, 2D arrays. Now, there is one topic called as array operations, right? So we have arrays, we have seen multidimensional arrays. Now, array operations. Now, what do you mean by array operations? So, very important phenomenon of the JavaScript we are going to see. But first, we will see the implementation. Array operations. Say for each, first one. So, let me create the array app01.js and const arr is equals to 1, 3, 1, 4, 89, 12, 2. This is my array, correct? Hello? Now, you can write a normal for loop like this. For let I is equals to 0, I is less than arr dot length and I plus plus, and what I plus plus, and then you can print console dot log arr of I. Yes or no? This is correct or wrong? So normal for loop we have written cd dot dot cd day. I hope you guys are practicing. And here I can say node app01.js. Can you see 131? So it is printing the numbers, right? Hello? Now there is a one function we have for this, that is nothing but what? That is nothing but what? For each. Every array has a capability to iterate on self. Dot, can you see? For each. Okay. For each is a function. For each is a function which accepts another function. This is the phenomenon we are going to talk after this. After this session or after this chapter, we would be talking about this phenomenon. So arr dot for each we have. Now here it is accepting a function. Can you see that? The first parameter to the function is nothing but what? The value, say element el, then you will get index, right? And then all these things. So console dot log, here we can say element is element, array element plus el plus index plus ind. So I will comment this code now. Now see here, can you see element 1 index 0, element 3 index 1, element 1 index 2. Can you see here? So to the for each you have passed a function. So there is a one built-in function on the array called as for each. So we have we have this is an array, say 1 2 3 4 5, something like this. Now you need to iterate over this array. So this is arr is equals to, now you have used something called as arr dot for each. What you have used? Arr dot for each. Now here you have passed a function, and that function would be having two parameters. First parameter would be first parameter would be first parameter would be element. Second parameter would be what? Index. See now, function as a parameter, this thing is important. So here you have passed function as a parameter, right? Now if you go here, and let me make a control Z, you can see function as a parameter, function el ind and this thing. Any questions on this? And it is giving you output like this. Well, if it can pass the function, you can use the lambda also. So how do you use the arrow function? elind arrow, and only one line is there, so you don't need brackets, something like this. If this is the function, if normal function is possible, anonymous function is possible over here, a lambda or arrow function is also possible over here. So here if you see arr dot forEach, and inside this now you are passing lambda. Sorry, in the terms of JavaScript, this is nothing but what? The arrow function. So here you have passed arrow. So this is anonymous function, and this is what you can say arrow function. Here you have arrow function, here you have anonymous function. But meaning of both is same. Am I getting? Are you getting my point? Hello? Are you getting my point or not?
Yes, sir.
So to the for each, remember that this for each is an operation. So this operation, say that again. Someone was saying something.
Yeah, examples will be better.
So this is the operation we have, and here you have passed the traditional function, anonymous function, and here you have passed an arrow function. For each, what is the purpose of for each? The for each method in JavaScript is used to execute the provided function once for each element in array. Once for each element in array is executed. See, which means that for each method in a JavaScript is used to execute provided function once for each element in array. So whatever function you are passing over here, so whatever function you are passing, so this function would be getting called. So this function would be getting called once for this element, this element, this element, this element, this element. So whatever provided function is, that provided function is called once for each element. Once for each element. Remember that this is very important. So this is also a function, which would be getting called once for each element in this array. So this loop is also correct, this loop is also correct, but if you see, this is the external utility we are using for iterating on the array. This is an external for loop, and if you see arr dot for loop, it is the function of for, it is the function of array itself. Okay, so these are the fundamentals. Now ap.02.js. Now const arr is equals to abc, aac, pqr, lmn, xyz, ppp, pet, xrt, pop. So these are the elements in array we are having. These are the elements in an array we are having. Now I want that array which only contains a. I want that array elements which are only containing a. Anywhere in the element, if a is there, I want that particular element. Okay, so what code you will write? What code you will write? So here my requirement is that need all elements which contains a. Need all elements which contains what? A. From given array. Can you tell me the logic? What would be the logic? How do you write the logic? Can you please tell me the logic? So from this array, I want to find out all those elements which starts from or which contains anywhere a. Tell me the logic. Hello? Did you got the idea or not? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we can do that by means of a normal for loop also, but I will do that using one operation called as filter. Can you see filter? Again, either you can use a traditional function over here. A filter accepts a function as a parameter. So filter, which method we are going to learn? Filter. Here you can say filter. Again, this accepts filter method accepts a function as parameter. You need to pass function over here. What do you need to pass? Hello? to inside this brackets, what you need to pass? Function. So that can be a traditional function like this. Again, same thing, it will give you element. Index, again, it will give you index. Same thing, it will give you. And now this element you are getting over here, see, index is optional. If you want, then you can use, otherwise you don't use it. So function, this thing. Remember that this function would be getting invoked for each element. For ABC, this function would be getting invoked. So let's write a console.log.
So, although we are not writing that for each, still it will be called for each element.
Yeah. Inside a filter, still it will call for each element. And one thing about the filter, so here, forEach was not returning. Can you see? It was returning void. So when you talk about the forEach over here, if it is a forEach, so it was returning nothing. But when you talk about the filter, it returns array with the filtered data. Means elements who will start from the A. Filtered data. In short, it will return the filtered data. So here if you can see arr.filter, it is returning a filtered. It is returning what? Filtered. So here we need to write a condition now. Here we need to write a return statement. A return if el dot contains el dot contains A. If this element represents this element represents this element, never forget the foundations. It will call this function for each element in an array. Now if you print the console.log, this is the original array, and console.log, this is the filtered array. Let's clear it. app02.js, day 43, node app02.js. Oh, hyphen. Spelling is wrong. There is no hyphen. Node app02.js. What is the problem now? includes is the function. So you will get to know whenever we will study the strings, you will get to know these functions. Can you see here? This is the original array, first one. And second one is the array which contains only elements which starts from A. Remember that forEach doesn't return anything. It returns nothing, but filter returns array. It returns filtered array. Correct? Go ahead and ask me questions if you have any.
So, for each, can there be multiple parameters like element and
No,
index?
no. These are the predefined parameters. It can have only element and index. Three are there actually. But out of them, two are useful for us right now. array itself, whatever array you are iterating on, whatever array, the third parameter is an array, whatever you are iterating on, actually operation you are performing on. Any questions, other members? Hello? Okay, someone has responded. Okay, fine. Now, if you can use the traditional function over here, you can use cons filtered to is equals to arr dot filter, and you can use arrow function also, and return same line element dot includes a. So this line, so this code and this code is exactly same. So this code and this code is exactly same. Here simply you have used a traditional function, here you have used traditional function, and here you have used the arrow function, right? Now this filter can accept function in any form. This filter can accept, so you can write anonymous function, or you can write this arrow function. Function in any form is acceptable, correct? Hello? Like this. Any questions, team? Okay, if not, let's move to the another operation.
No, no, sir.
Another operation. See now, for each we have seen, filter we have seen. What is the filter? Let's have a formal definition. So filtered filter method in a JavaScript is used to create the new array. Used to create what? New array with all elements that pass a certain condition, and that is implemented by function. If I get this on the board, if you see here, if you see this definition, filter, see here, this method filter, we have seen a filter in a JavaScript is used to create the new array. Filter returns the new array, right? With the elements, every function has a el as a parameter, elements that pass a certain condition implemented by a provided function. Implemented by what? A provided function. So to the filter, we pass the function. To the filter, we pass the function, and that function, this function is returning the condition. If you see, this is the function we have, this is the filter. So this much is the function we are having, and this much is the anonymous function we are having. Here you can see this much is the anonymous function we are having, and this is the condition we are having. This is what? Condition we are having. Similarly, this is the condition. It is a returning, remember that from here, actually it is returning. The way you have written return over here, in the same fashion you are returning from here. There is no change. So this much line of code and this much line of code is exactly same. There is no difference. Correct? A filter method. Here you can say it is essentially allows you to filter out the elements from an array based on the specific criteria. The syntax for the filter method is as below, whatever we have seen. Okay. There are three parameters. Current value means element, index, and reference to array itself. And what? Reference to array itself. Okay. Okay. Now, next method. Next method. Map. This one. Map. What is the requirement? Let's discuss first. What is the map function? When you say map, what do you mean by map? Now this is my array, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I want to create a new array from this array, which would be the square of each number. 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, and 5 square. What is the 1 square? 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. Now I want to convert. So here is the transformation. Here is what? Transformation. So you are converting one array into another array by mapping each element to new one, to new one. So each element of this array, if you can say, each element of this array, each element of this array would be mapped to a new element and new array would be returned to you. Is that clear? Hello, is that clear or not?
Yes.
Mapping. Let us see how this done exactly. So here we can say filter map. So app 03.js const arr is equals to 1 2 3 4 5. Now I want to create a array of squared. So let's print original first. Console.log original array. Now I will not write a traditional function. You can imagine on your own. So here we can say arr dot map. Again, three parameters are there. Can you see value, index, and array? And it is returning const squared array. Squared array. So here we can have element arrow el into el. Is it understandable? So whatever we have seen here, console.log sqd, whatever we have seen over here, so this is your original array. This is your original array, and each element, 1 would be squared, 2 would be squared, 3 would be squared, 4, 5, like this. So you are writing a function this for this. You're writing a function, right? And what is the form of these functions? This function will make a square of each element. This function will make a square of each element, and that function you have written here. This is the function which will make a square of each element. Now if you run the project, here you can see .js. See, any questions? Okay, so filter we have seen, right? We have seen what? Filter. Map, filter, map, and forEach. Filter, map, and what? forEach. Correct? Now there are few more. Find and find index. Find and what? Find index. Both are same. One will return you element and one will actually returns the element and another returns just the element index. Means what? Now consider that we have this array 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now here what find returns? Based on the condition, find returns and actual element, while find index return the index of the element, say 1. What find returns? Actual element or elements. Let us see that. Let's implement it first. App 04.js. Let's get this array. Const arr is equals to this array. Console.log arr, original array. arr.find. And here you can say a predicate element, all the elements which are greater than 3, greater than or equal to 3. So it will return an array again, const else elements, and here you can say console.log else, and here I can say 4. Can you see find? Yeah, I'm sorry, it is not returning you an array, returns the find method in JavaScript is used to retrieve the value of the first element in an array. Based on this condition, or let's make 2.5, and here you'll get answer is 3. So that first element, I'm sorry, I have explained you wrong. I was thinking about the filter. So whenever you say find, just a minute. Yeah, so whenever you say find, what find is going to find? Here you are going to give condition if the element is greater than 2.5. So which element is which first element is greater than 5 over 2.5 over here? Can you tell me? This is the greater than sign. It will return that element, first element. It will return. So this is the condition EL. It will check 1 is greater than 2.5. It's a false. 2 is greater than 2.5. False. Okay, 3 is greater than 3.5. So it will return this element. So find will return what? First element. It will return first element whose value, or for which condition is, first it will return the first element for which condition is matching. Okay, so this is the condition. So this condition is matching for whom? For 1 it's not matching, for 2 it's not matching, yes, but for 3 it's matching, and that's why it will return what? Answer would be 3 over here. Correct? Now find index. I will write same thing, ind, and here we can print ind. Now fortunately 0 1 2 3, it is on the third, that's why it is returning what? 3. 0 1 2, and technically if you see the index 1 2 3. Now if you see find index is similar to the find, but it returns the index of the element. Index of the element that satisfies the provided function. If it returns -1, no such element is available. Now see, if you say 100, and here also 100, let's make 100. Undefined, undefined. Can you see? Okay, find. I,
Let's find the index.
yeah, I'm sorry. Find index. Yeah. Now here if you see undefined, for this thing it is going to return what? Undefined. And for this thing it is going to return -1. If you see here, you will get index 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. So 3 and 2, 0 1 2. Earlier also it was returning find, it was returning 3, but if you see find index is returning 0 1 2. That's the 2. Earlier it was returning 3 because I didn't made a method find index. That was wrong. Correct? Hello? Is it clear about find and find index?
Yes.
Okay. I can cover all the other methods also, but let's keep it for tomorrow. Let's complete this thing in the tomorrow session. Okay? Hello? I can cover it right now also, but I don't want to burden you.
No, let's cover it tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, let me push this much code. JavaScript, array operations, 0 1. Yeah. I have pushed the code. Thank you.